caused by people being deprived. They don't have to be ex-cons to be in this program. They may have a drug problem, a lack of personal confidence, or just not enough education. But they're all disadvantaged in some way. It's just in him that I'm going to be a failure all my life.
All I want is just work steady and buy me a home, new car and all that, you know. Have things that other people have that I don't have. That's the most important thing I really want.
What really started me to thinking is that I was laying down and I was thinking about my age, that I was getting older and what would happen, what was going to happen, you understand, when no one decided that they wanted to give me any money, or that if I should get into trouble again and go to prison again, that it might be for the last time, the habitual criminal act.
When a guy does wrong, they want to see him get his penalty for it and everything, and they don't think about the guy as far as rehabilitating him, you know. They don't think about, well, what he's going to do, you know, we got to let him out one of these days, you know, and then when he do get out, most of the time, a bigger percentage of the population, you know, they turn their backs on him, and I think this is a big reason why a lot of guys go back to crime, you know.
I had a job at this company. I was a machine operator, machine trainee, and I worked there for about 6 months, and one day they called me in and gave me my check and said that was it, you know. And I inquired why this was, and they said that they just handed me a piece of paper and says you are discharged because of falsification of application concerning your criminal background. Well, I lied to get a job, and they found out about it, so they fired me.
People have always have a tendency to say that an ex-con is an animal. You know, he doesn't exist once he goes off into another society, you know. But this is what they fail to realize. It is another society, and life still goes on.
Makes the guy feel like, wow, you know, what am I even trying to do it right for, man? Why not just go rip somebody off or something?
It's just one thing when they found out that you did something wrong in your past and everything, I guess they think that you do it again, you know, but I think majority of the guys, you know, when they get out and really got it in their mind to straighten up themselves, you know, they don't want to go back to crime or be incarcerated, you know, and a lot of guys just make up their mind, like me, you know, they just don't want it, you know.
They lock you up like an animal and just keep you there for years and years, and then they let you out and they expect you to act like everybody else has been out here all their life. You just can't adjust like that. You just can't adjust because, man, there's, you know, there's too much freedom, man. It blows your mind. You say, wow. So I finally realized that I ain't gonna waste no more than years, man. They're too precious, you know. There's not enough of them to begin with. And it's kind of stupid to go blow what few you got. You know?
I'd like to, you know, just tell a lot of guys it's really, you know, no picnic being in jail and nobody's jail, you know. And but we got a problem, and I know it's people trying to solve it, you know, but it will be a problem.
People should help people. You are people. You have not been forgotten. Well, throughout society, it's also, at the moment, a downtrend in the economy, and we're recruiting people for a special program who in particular don't have a skill or something, or who has had problems. Now, the beginning of our program starts with what is known as Outward Bound. How many of you are familiar with Outward Bound? Well, if you're not familiar with Outward Bound, I'd like to tell you something about it. It was started during World War II as a survival course. Now, maybe you men in here have been trying to survive all your life, and you don't need any training in survival. Well, we kind of turned this thing around and made it a confidence building thing. It's where it built confidence in them who have lost confidence in themselves. Understand that it's competitive. It's just like anything else that you go into. You compete with the next man. The man that seems to have something on the ball is the man that we're going to help. Remember, this is not a charity thing that we're giving to you. We're not giving you anything. You're going to work for it. You're going to be a productive employee. This is where we gain. This is where society gains. You're paying tax rather than living off of tax. You know, we send our supervisors up there along with you. Now, they're not going up there as supervisors. They're going up there to do the same thing that you are doing. They're up there to know about your problem and to be sensitive to your problems, the problem that you might have encountered. He's going to know about you. You're going to know about the middle class supervisor. You're going to work as a team. And this is what we're going to need when you return to industry, as working as a team.
I wasted 6 years in this place and a few other years in other places, and it just isn't worth it, man. Not when you see it, man, as it is, man. It's really a drag, and I know what kind of changes they go through when they're getting out, man, when they're short. You know, they're worried about if they're going to get a job, if they're going to be able to get a job because of their record, or if they're going to go back to stealing, you know. Besides, they never have nothing when they steal anyway. They do for a while. They get busted, and then it's all gone.
Outward Bound works because basically you have to learn that it's you that counts. It's you that makes that critical step, and it's you depending upon some other person. And it's these basic fundamental relationships that become dramatized and experienced and understood to some extent, and where possible reinforced, that represent the type of meaning that I think has transference to any other situation beyond the outward bound setting, whether it's on the job or whether it's back in school or wherever a person turns to. In Outward Bound, what we're trying to do is challenge a person to defeat their own defeatism, get some sense of purpose, and develop the confidence to really hold on. And there are sort of challenges that they face in the Outward Bound setting that if they can survive them, that there's nothing that industry can give them that they can't face. You know, it's a total rehabilitation job, and unless you're willing to get involved in this degree of investment in people, you know, these sort of programs don't work that effectively.
The one physical part of the course that I remember well was the rappel.
That was really mellow. I really liked that.
It's scary as hell, and there was no way that you could renege. You're all alone, you're halfway down the cliff, you've made all the commitments you're going to make. The next thing to do is to get to the bottom.
Get over the cliff.
That's okay. It'll keep going. Really? You'll have to feed it through in the beginning.
Hey, huh?
Don't worry, I got you.
You got me?
I got you.
Remember, keep your feet nice and wide, Leroy.
Okay.
Your body weight will, your body weight will carry you down. Just
Not
like
too cool to fall off, man. You got to slide down.
Take it easy, home.
Keep your feet nice and wide.
See you at the bottom.
See you later, Birdman.
All right.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, when we got up that morning to rappel, everybody broke camp slow. I mean, slow. And we had done rock climbing just the day before. And going up on a rope, it's not so bad. But boy, you walk over an overhanging cliff, 100, 150 feet long, high, and you just drop right out of sight, and it's just you, period. When I went to do my rappel. The guy who was belaying for me, the night before, we had had a real stout argument. And like when I first went over the cliff, I kept saying to myself, if it was me on the other end, I wouldn't let go of this rope. And all the way down, that's all I thought about. Boy, if this was me, you know, I wouldn't even let go of this rope. I just hold on. And when I touched the ground, boy, you know, I figured, well, everybody's not bad as they're made out to be.
You really have to know that trust is something between people that really has to be there, whether it's in that type of situation or any other type. I belayed a lot of the guys, and I was belayed by them while I was rappelling. And I had thoughts of going down the edge of that cliff, whether that guy was worthwhile or not that was on the end of my rope. But after a while, you do it a while, and you get to know that people are all basically good, that he wasn't going to let you down.
We let no one fail up there. The dropout rate is 0 because nobody fails. If you've been a failure throughout your life, if you lost your jobs, you're going to get right through this thing like everybody else. Well, this Manpower Challenge, you know, we send supervisors up. So, buddy, you've had it all your life good. Now, we're on equal basis. You know nothing about the mountains, I know nothing about them. So now let's see you outdo me now. And it's kind of competitive. You know, we had this between our Anglo and the black. The supervisor and this trainee. One wasn't going to be outdone by the other one. And they just pushed. It goes back to one more thing. I can compete now.
The whole course leads you right up into your solo, you know, to where you're able to take care of yourself.
This is where you spend 3 days and 3 nights all by yourself out in the wilderness. 72 hours. It's a mental thing. It'll give you time to think about what you did in life, what have you accomplished in life. It'll give you time to think about what you want to do in life and what you want to accomplish in life.
Sundown sea is waiting in the west. With such a breath and waves that wash my eyes, and move my mind in rhythms that I have lost. Among pretended truths and easy lies,
I learned that I had some bad faults when it came to interacting with other people, and that these faults can be corrected, that a person can change and he can learn to have more faith in people.
I can't say a whole lot about solo because I didn't see solo a whole lot. I was asleep most of the time, you know.
You know, I just couldn't stop dreaming about making love and money. That's all I was thinking about for a while there. And then food. Then making love and money had come on my mind. Then food.
I liked it, climbing the mountains and everything. The only thing I really didn't enjoy was sleeping in those soaking wet sleeping bags, but it was all an experience, so I didn't mind it too much, you know.
I'm not supposed to say this, but we snuck out of camp and called home. And I called home and talked to my wife. Well, no, I missed you. I missed my wife. And I talked to my mother for a while. She was really worried about me. And, you know, it really made me feel good that somebody missed me.
It went a lot better than I expected it to go, you know. Yeah. Although I starved a lot, I didn't dig that at all. Yeah.
I wrote about, things I had done and I knew I shouldn't have done, and things I wish I had done. And I think the whole purpose of the solo was to make you think.
I saw myself a lot of different ways. I saw times when I was rationalizing, procrastinating, when I was really doing things that didn't have any place in a supervisor's role. So I saw myself at my worst a lot of times during the 3 weeks we were outbound.
You learn a lot of things, you know, things that you don't think that you could do, that you could really do if you really put a goal into it, and really, if you put your mind to do it, you could do it. That's anything, really, I think.
You know, you could go a lot further than you really think you can.
Oh, yeah, I'll think back about everything, because I've gotten everything written down, and all the letters I sent to my wife, I put on them, save this coupon. Very valuable, you know.
I was just lonely and miserable the last 24 hours of solo. I was just on the verge of tears a couple of times, just thinking about things that I could have done better that I didn't do.
No, sir. I'm not sure I'd want to do it again, but I wouldn't take anything for it.
Where you living now?
Well, I'm living with my parents right now, but I'm planning on moving out as soon as I get myself together here.
You gonna be able to do that with this job?
Right. Later on in about a couple of months or so, where we get through with this training program. Right now we're not making too much. We're making about $1.75 an hour, and then it advances every week. If we straighten up here, this is like sort of a probation period.
See, at one time, we were throwing away valves costing $100 and some for junk. See, these guys salvage all that stuff. They're paying their own way now in this recycling yard, and plus making the company money. At the same time, we're working out the trainee's problem so that when he's promoted into the brewery, he makes a better employee.
When I started up at Coors, I started at the bottom, boy. You know, I was passing out tools in the tool crib. A chance came and they looked around and they said, well, we're going to try Leon at this. So now I'm a buyer. You know, I'm not complaining. I got a nice job. I like it. I really do enjoy my job.
Man, is this really worth it, you know? Is it worth it? And the way that you have to start from $1.65 and you rotate into a raise where you get a raise every other week or every week until you come up to $3, I think, is the limit. And then you're eligible for a job change. And within that time, you know, you got just as $3, and $3 is a little bit better than that $1.65 because you got more money, and you kind to break away from your tight budget and exercise your money within the things that you really want to do, you know. And it kind of makes you look forward to going off into the bigger plan because you're making more money and you could take a step higher in life, you know. But rather it's not, I mean, it's hard to really get adjusted because, man, sometimes you wonder, is it really worth it?
I think it's a pretty good break, you know, for fellows that, like me, you know, that have had problems in their lives, and, you know, and it's hard, you know, to get a good job, you know, especially if you've been a parolee like me, you know, and then you go on this outward bound course, and I think it's a pretty good break, you know, for fellows that, you know, really take it in consideration, and because you just don't find too many places around Denver that you can work yourself up to for about 4 8 hours, you know, within a year, you know. You just can't find jobs like that.
It's kind of like being born again, you know? It's kind of like being born again.
For any employer to get into a program like this, the first thing he must have is a commitment. He has to want to do it himself. And if he wants to do it, he can do it. He's going to have to use a tremendous amount of ingenuity. He will suffer a lot of disappointment. There's much trial and error. You have to know how to get along with them. You have to develop a rapport with them, develop a communication with them. This, of course, is the area that the Colorado Outward Bound School solves for us. I don't think we could operate this program without their help in this area. People have asked me, what do I get out of this? What does the company get out of it in return for our pains and our troubles? I would say that the psychic benefits that we have all received from this more than justify the effort that we have put into it. On the other side, we are getting some remarkable employees from it. We have one man that we are particularly fond of, particularly sold on, that is presently back in prison for the second time. We're going to take a third chance